Hello, and welcome to day 2 of the Greenlight Guru True Quality Virtual Summit, the 3-day event designed to provide actionable takeaways you can implement in your own company to innovate faster, stay ahead of regulatory changes, and use quality as a strategic asset to grow your device business. This session is on economic operators under EU MDR. My name is Tom Risch, Medical Device Guru here at Greenlight Guru, and I will be your moderator for today's event. We've got a really special session scheduled for you today. I know our speaker, Monir El Azzouzi, is really looking forward to sharing his expertise on how the economic operators under EU MDR work through real case studies with manufacturers inside and outside the EU. Before we dive too deep into today's presentation and introduce you to our speaker and his company, Easy Medical Device, I'm going to touch on a few items real quick. First, this session is going to run about 45 minutes in total and will include a Q&A session at the end where Monir has been kind enough to answer your questions. So I encourage you to submit your questions through the presentation as they come up in the box on the right-hand side, and we will get to as many of them as time permits. This entire session will be recorded and sent to you afterwards. Once this session wraps up, there is a 10-minute break before the next live session begins. If you're interested in learning about prioritizing documentation for MDR transition planning, you'll want to be sure you're registered for the next session and use your unique link to tune in. If you aren't already signed up, you can register for the next session and over 20 others at virtual-summit.greenlight.guru. I'd also like to share a few words about Greenlight Guru and why we put on this free virtual summit. If you've been to one of our training sessions before, then you know we put these on because improving the quality of life is our mission here at Greenlight Guru, likely a similar mission as many of you at today's summit. Anything we can do as an organization that helps device makers bring safer, life-changing devices to market quicker and with less risk aligns with that mission. We're constantly looking for ways to fulfill that mission, whether that's through hosting free events and training sessions, through partnering with world-class medical device consultants, or through our award-winning medical device QMS software. If you'd like to learn more about why medical device companies from across the globe are moving away from paper-based general-purpose quality management systems and adopting a purpose-built medical device quality system, I encourage you to head on over to www.greenlight.guru after today's presentation to schedule your free personalized one-on-one demo. In doing so, you'll learn how the very best medical device companies are leveraging our purpose-built quality management software to gain ISO 13485 certification, market approval, breeze through audits, and push beyond just compliance to produce true quality medical devices. So if you're interested in learning how we can help your device company, make sure to visit our website, greenlight.guru, after today's webinar to schedule your demo. Now on to the bulk of today's presentation. I know Monir has a intro slide that he's going to share with you. Monir, we're all good to go on the technical side with your screen share. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you go forward. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity that I have to present here this topic about economic operators. So hi everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Everybody is really healthy and safe now. My name is Monir El Azzouzi. I'm a medical device expert. I'm specialized in quality and regulatory affairs. I am mainly working since now 15 years in the medical device industry. I was working for big corporations like Johnson & Johnson, like Bausch & Lomb, B. Braun Medical in Europe, Scientix, Alphatec Spine, and Micromega. So, and I covered many industries like orthopedic, ophthalmology, sterilization, traumatology. So I have tried to add really a lot of experience in this area. And I founded last year my company, so Easy Medical Device in Switzerland, in Basel, Switzerland. And from there, I am also being a blogger, a podcaster, a YouTuber, because a lot of people are saying that to me. And I'm trying to share really expertise in terms of medical device throughout all the world through my videos that I'm sharing and all the interviews that I'm doing also with medical device experts. And my mission is really to educate, to help medical device manufacturers to place compliant medical device on the market. And I'm trying to help that, as I've said, through those videos, or also to help them through consulting. Okay, so today I wanted to introduce you with the topic of economic operators under the EU MDR and the EU IVDR. And first, want to see what, sorry, I have this that goes. I want to see how, what are the economic operators specifically. So first, we are talking here about the European Union. So I want really to make really a scope about what we are talking about here. And we are talking about specifically some organizations, some entities that will be considered as economic operators. And I will present that to you. So first we have the manufacturers. Mainly we have manufacturers that are inside the European Union and manufacturers that are outside of the European Union. Both are manufacturers and both can deliver some products. And to deliver the products, they can go directly to the end user, or they have to go through distributor, for example, when we are inside the European Union. And when we are outside of the European Union, we have to have an importer and an European authorized representative, so you can enter to the EU market. You can enter through the importer directly to go to the end user, or you can go also to the distributor. So here is kind of the current situation, but there is also one economic operator that people are not talking too much, and it is the system and procedure pack provider. So this is an economic operator because he's really getting some products that are already CE marked, that are already cleared on the market, and he put them together. So a system is mainly when the products are working together to achieve one intended purpose, and the procedure pack is when you are putting together some products that have to go and can work individually, so no need to work together to also achieve an intended purpose. So these people are getting those products from manufacturers or importers if the products are cleared, and then they can go directly to the end user, or they can go also to distributor. So here is a bit of all the constellation, if I can say, of economic operators, and where they are operating and how they are interacting together. And regarding those economic operators, we have all the ones that have a dot here should also be registered within the EUDAMED database. The EUDAMED database is a database that will be coming into force, we hope, in 2022. And these companies will have to register there and to register also the products that they will belong to. And as you can see, the distributor don't have this role, so it doesn't need to register within the EUDAMED database. One important thing also is the fact that the importer and the manufacturer are the only entities that can place a products in the market. So a distributor or a system and procedure pack is not allowed to place a product on the market. It can make the products available, but the first entity that can place these products on the market are the importer and manufacturer. So it's important to mention that. So I have a question for you. So if you can just, I will start a polling. So if you can just answer this question, mainly what are the types of companies you are working for? So are you more a manufacturer, an importer, a distributor, an authorized representative, or a system procedure pack provider? This can help also to see who is really in the audience. So I will adjust a few seconds to that. So we see that mainly a lot of manufacturers are here, a lot of some authorized representative, no system procedure pack provider. So it's also interesting to have that. Okay. Oh, 2%. Okay. So we have some system procedure pack providers that are starting to work on. Great. So I will continue on the presentation now, just to have more clarity about this topic. And here I want to go through each of the economic operators. So we'll go through the manufacturer, the importer, the authorized representative, the distributor, the system and procedure pack provider. So to explain what are their roles and responsibility also within the new medical device regulation. Okay, so the manufacturer. So the manufacturer has some responsibility which are listed in Article 10 of the EU MDR or of the EU IVDR. What is good is with the new medical device regulation, so in-vitro diagnostic and medical device regulation have nearly this. It's really the same chapter. So manufacturers are in Article 10 and all the others are in the same article. So it's easy then for us to describe and to tell which article they have to follow. So here it's Article 10. And the responsibility of the manufacturer is mainly to follow the EU MDR. And I will just list you here a few elements from this responsibility. So we have to create a system for risk management, to have a clinical evaluation of the products, to have a technical documentation, to have a declaration of conformity, to have a UDI system, also to have a quality management system, even if you are a class 1 product. And lastly, you have also to have a PRRC, which is a person responsible for regulatory compliance. Just a few points. So this PRRC is a person that is within the company or can be a consultant for small companies. And they have to they have to have some skills. So first they have to have at least a diploma. I mean, there is two options. There is the first option is that to have a diploma in law, medicine, science, engineering, etc., and 1 year of experience in the quality and regulatory affairs field in medical devices. And the second is to have 4 years of experience in the quality and regulatory affairs for medical devices. So if you don't have a PRC, then you are not following the EU regulation. And you should have a PRC, even if you are outside of Europe, you have to have a PRC within your organization. So I think the auditors will really look at that. The other obligation is also that, now obligation against the other economic operators, the other obligation is also that they have to communicate with their economic operators. For example, if you are a manufacturer inside of European Union, if there is any issue with your products, if you know that you are not compliant, if you know that there is some problems, you have to inform your distributor. It's mandatory. You have to get communication with them, also with the authorities through a vigilance reporting. So you have to say, yes, my product is not good, or there is some issues. We have read to maybe make some recourse, some field action, etc. But you have to communicate with them. Same if you are outside of Europe, you have to communicate with your importer, with your European authorized representative, and to explain to him, yes, we have an issue with the products, or there is some non-compliant things, and we will try to solve that. Because they will have also to help you, maybe to stop the products to be released, to help you also to solve the issue maybe sometimes. So it's important that there is this communication from one side. But you'll see that next, the other economic operators will have maybe also some things to say, or maybe we'll stop your products immediately also. So if we go, just one thing, because I will also explain to you who is checking, who is the authority, if I can say, who's checking all that. So for manufacturers, if you are a manufacturer which has a product that is higher than class 1, so it will be your notified body who will be checking, and the competent authority also in your country. But if you are a company with only a class 1 product, so it's the competent authority which will have to check each product for each country, if I can say, in the European Union. So it's important to understand that for class 1, it's a self-certification, so there is no need of a notified body. But for higher than class 1, you need a notified body, and this notified body is, if I can say, the authority for you. Okay, now let's start with importer. So the importer is within Article 13, and the importer has also some duties. So he, as I've said before, is the one for, on behalf of the manufacturer, who is placing the product, the CE mark products, on the European market. And its duty is mainly that as soon as he is receiving the product, he has to check that the product first is CE marked, that the product has a EU declaration of conformity. He has also to check that the authorized representative is existing, because the manufacturer is outside of Europe, so he has to check that the authorized representative is there. And he has also to check that the label is compliant, that there is an IFU, that the UDI is okay. The UDI should be okay if applicable, because there is also some transition period for the UDI. For example, a class 1 device should have its UDI on their technical file, but it should appear on the packaging by May 26, 2025. For class 2A to B, it's May 26, 2023. And for class 3, it's May 26, 2021, so next year. So the UDI should still be there, but it should appear, so the UDI carrier should appear on the packaging by those dates. So it's why I'm saying if applicable. Then he has also to check that the product is registered within EUDAMED, and he has then to put, as I've said, he has to register himself as the importer of these products within the EUDAMED database. He has also to check that the storage condition, transport condition are met, so the ones that the manufacturer is stipulating on their products. And he has also to, if I can say, collect information for the manufacturer, like if there is a non-conformity, if there is a complaint, a recall, anything that's happening with the product, he has to collect that. He has to create a registry and to collect all those information for the manufacturer. So I imagine if this importer is distributing a lot of products or importing a lot of products in the European Union, he will maybe have a lot of data to carry and a lot of data also to register for on behalf of them. And it's also something that is important. He has also the right to say, no, I will not distribute this product because it's not compliant. And it's not only the right, he has to do that. It means that he has the responsibility to say, yes, I confirm this product is okay. And to confirm this responsibility, or to confirm that the product is okay, he's placing a label, his label, if I can say, on the product, to say, imported by this company, and the label for me means like it's a release, so the product is released, so it's fine. But if he says no, there is no EU declaration of conformity, or it's not correct, or there is no UDI when it should be, etc., it's his obligation to stop the product and to say it's not compliant, because as soon as he says it's fine when it's not, he's liable for any issue that can happen with the products on the market. So it's also something that is important for them. And then they can go directly to the importer. The importer can go directly to the end user, or can distribute that to any distributor out of that. Then for the check, the importer has no notified body who is checking what they are doing. The only competent authority who is checking what they are doing is the competent authority, is competent authority. If he's located in Germany, so it will be a German competent authority that is coming and checking what they are doing. If somebody says, no, he's not acting correctly, so then the competent authority will go and check if they are doing correct things. If they are not, then they can disappear, if I can say, or can stop business, because at the end, the competent authority is law and can also block what this importer is doing. So it's why this importer has really some obligations, and he has to really act compliantly in terms of the regulation. Then we have the European Authorized Representative. As I've said, the manufacturer, when he's outside of Europe, he has to have an importer for products inside of Europe and a European Authorized Representative. And the European Authorized Representative is then checking what the manufacturer is doing. So he's checking that first, he has to have a mandate with this manufacturer to say that, yes, he is the authorized representative, when the others, the importer, distributor, whatever, don't need a mandate. So the mandate is only for the European Authorized Representative. So it's a kind of a document, written document saying, yes, I appoint this person or this company as my authorized representative in Europe. And this authorized representative will check first that all what the manufacturer is doing is correct or not. So the thing is, what is the check? Is verify the EU declaration of conformity, verify the technical documentation, verify also that he's following the right conformity assessment. He has to keep all those documents at his place of business, because there can be an audit from any competent authority and come to this company to say, hey, we have to audit you and you have to cooperate with us. He has also to verify that the registration obligation from the manufacturer are done. He has also to check I mean, he has also to work and collaborate with any competent authority. If there is any issue in the market, he has to help the competent authority and to show that he's helping them. He has also the obligation to terminate a mandate in case there is an issue with products, and he has the obligation also to contact the competent authority and to explain to them why they terminated the mandate. So it's also something that is important. So here is all the things, and it's also to say that the European Authorized Representative is really liable. It means that if he knows that he's placing a wrong product on the market, if he's authorizing a wrong product on the market, then he will be liable for any issue that's happening. And the name of the authorized representative should be on the product itself. So we know that then it's a, I mean, if you get a product that is coming from outside of Europe, you should see normally the manufacturer, then you should see the authorized representative name, then you should see the importer name. And the importer and authorized representative can be the same person. It's not like there is a difference. They can be the same person. They just have to have different roles inside the company. And the same as the manufacturer, the authorized representative should also have a PRRC within their organization. So it's something that is important. Then who is checking the authorized representative? So the competent authority first is checking. But here we can also mention, if we want, we can also mention a notified body if it is on the scope of the quality management system of the manufacturer. So it's something that we'll see also later. Then we have the distributor. So Article 14. So the distributor is really connected with nearly everybody. So you can get products directly from the manufacturer if it is inside Europe. You can get the product from the system and pack provider if it is also inside Europe. And if it is outside of Europe, you can get the product directly from the importer and then distribute that to the end user. So his role is nearly the same as the one from the importer, but he has less thing because he will not put his label on it. There is no label saying distributed by, even if maybe you can put that, but there is no legal requirements to do that. The only thing that he has to do is also to verify that the importer label is there, if it's a product that is imported. Verify again that the UDI is there. Verify again that the EU Declaration of Conformity is there. I mean, you see that at many stages we are verifying the same kind of things. And it has also to do a sampling method to verify this on the product. So if you have a palette of 500 products, you have to define a sampling method of collecting maybe 10 products from here, 10 products from there, etc. So it has to define this method and use that for inspecting that the product is correct. And then it can deliver the product. So as you can see, he is checking nearly everybody, is checking all the products that are coming from everybody and checking that everybody are really making their duty. And the distributor is the same as the importer. The only check that can be happening is with the competent authority. The competent authority is really checking what they are doing. And the last one, which is the system and pack procedure pack provider. As I've said, this is a company that is just getting products from that are already normally placed on the market, CE marked. And he can assemble them to create a pack and then send that to his customer. He can also get a procedure pack and sterilize it. But here, if he is doing that, he is also has also to comply with some conformity assessment, same as for the class 1S or 1 sterile, which is a certain part of their quality management system has to be audited by a notified body, specifically for the sterilization process. And the system and pack and procedure pack provider is checking specifically the products coming from the manufacturer and importer. He has to check that the product is really CE marked, that there is no issue. He has to check also that there is some combination possible with those products, because he's taking products from different parts and putting them together, and it should have the same, if I can say, one intended purpose. It's not like one is specifically for this, one is specifically for that. It should have the same intended purpose for the full pack, and then they have to put their name on it, etc., etc. But yeah, it's more details here. So what is important is the fact that all those people have to work together, but everybody, just think so. The competent authority that is checking, it's a competent authority who is checking the system and procedure pack if they are doing correctly their job. What's important, as I say, is really that everybody is working together, because everybody is watching everybody. So it's not like you are going to one place and it's fine, you have one check. It's like there is many borders. If a manufacturer is outside of Europe, so the EIR will check that what he's doing is correct. The importer will check what he's doing is correct. Then the manufacturer will check, the system pack, procedure pack will check what he's doing. The distributor will check what he's doing, etc. So there is many checks from everywhere. So you can maybe pass certain barriers, but maybe be stopped by others. So this will be really a system where there will be more controls, and the objective is really to increase the quality of the products, or maybe more the regulation or the legislation of the products, to have really products that are complying with what is mentioned on the medical device regulation. Now, if you are a multinational, so you have a multinational, let's take, as we are here on the Greenlight Guru Virtual Summit, a company that is located in the USA. So you are a multinational located in the USA. You have an office in France and in Germany. So you are saying, my office in France will be the European Authorized Representative, and my office or my warehouse in Germany will be my importer. And then I have to distribute my products to some countries like Italy. So I have also a warehouse in Italy. So all those companies will belong to the same company, if I can say, or let's say belong to the same quality management system. So at the end, you are taking your products coming from the USA, you are sending that to the importer in Germany. The European Authorized Representative in France is checking nearly that everybody is okay. I mean, you have to provide papers and show that everything is fine. And then the product goes to your distributor in Italy and goes to the end user. As I said, everything is under your same quality management system. So it means that your notified body that is coming to you in the USA will also check that all what you are delivering in your supply chain is correct. So they will also audit maybe your importer, your distributor, because they are belonging to the same quality management system. If on your quality management system you say you are designing, manufacturing, distributing products, so then it's also on the scope of your quality management system. And your notified body will also have to check that all the supply chain is correct and that everything is working, because they are all belonging to the same thing. But the competent authority can also check what you are doing in Germany with your importer, in France with your authorized representative, in Italy with your distributor. So there is also a lot of pieces here, a lot of pieces of the puzzle that have to be working together in terms of that. But you have to understand that if your whole supply chain is part of the same quality management system, there is also a notified body check that can happen here. Now, there is some economic operators that will become manufacturers. Why? Because they are acting and doing something that is changing, if I can say, their scope. So, for example, the importer, the distributor, or any other company, let's say like that, if they are doing like that, if they are placing their name on the product, if they are changing the packaging to have their name instead of the name of the products that they reserved, if they change the intended purpose of the product, if they change the device already marketed, so the device is already marketed as a plaster, and you change it with a sterilized plaster, or you put some kind of medicine on the plaster to have maybe some antibiotic on it, etc. This is a change of the intended purpose, or the change of already marketed products. So then you will be considered as the manufacturer. So it means that you will have to have a new technical file. You have to ask a notified body if it is not a class 1 product, etc. So this is something that can happen, and you have to be careful of when you are receiving products to not change any of those things, or you will be considered as a manufacturer. If you are doing that, if you are translating the information that are already supplied by the manufacturer, or if you are changing the outside packaging, for example, to change the pack size, you receive a pack of 100, but the market is more asking of pack of 10. So you are just changing the pack size, but you are not changing the intended purpose, you are not changing the name of the product, etc., etc. Then there is you are not considered as a manufacturer. But you have still to inform the manufacturers within 28 days prior to put the products on the market, to say, I will do this, I will do that, so that he knows about it. And there is some logos that are now appearing, because you have to also place your name under, for example, this logo means repackaged by and repackaged by Acme International, for example, or translated by Acme International. So it means that it's not an original translation done by the manufacturer. It was done by the importer or distributor or any other company. So you have to have also those information on the products so that the people know what happened with these products. Now, a last topic will be the Brexit, Turkxit, Swixit. If you never heard about that, maybe you heard the first one, and maybe you will hear for the first time the other ones. So mainly, you know about Brexit because the UK wants to exit the European Union. So this was voted. This will be applicable normally by end of this year. So by January 1st, 2021, normally the UK will not be anymore in the EU. For this situation, we will know specifically better after the 1st of July, because 1st of July is the date where Boris Johnson has to say we will extend this for 1 or 2 years. But if he doesn't extend that, then by January 1st, there will be this Brexit. But we don't know what will happen. If really the UK is exiting the European Union, so then it will be the same as a manufacturer located outside of EU. Same for Switzerland and Turkey, because in the agreement between European Union and Turkey and Switzerland, the medical device directive, the one that is actually applicable, is agreed, so it's fine. But the new medical device regulation was not agreed. So it means that by the May 26, 2021, the same thing can happen. So it means that Switzerland and Turkey can be out of the agreement specifically for the medical devices. We are not talking about cars or any other thing. We are talking specifically about medical devices because the regulation for medical devices was not agreed upon them. And then if we have this scenario, maybe, because it's also under negotiation, it will be the same as I've said if you are outside of Europe. So the Swiss companies or Turkey company or UK company will need to have an importer in Europe, an authorized representative, and then go to the end user or go through a distributor to the end user. So this is something that can happen, but we have still some unclarity now, and we'll know more in the coming days. So if you want to learn more, so I have created also a series of podcast episodes with Eric Volbrecht about economic operators. We have talked about who are the economic operators, who controls the economic operators, what they should control, roles and responsibility, if they need a quality management system, which is also an important topic, and a lot of frequently asked questions. And we have also interviewed a specific distributor to ask them what is their situation related to this new regulation. So if you want to go there, you can have this view directly on my podcast episodes or on my YouTube channel. I'm trying really to educate as much as possible, so don't hesitate to go to subscribe and to enjoy the show with some really special guests there. Okay, I turn to the crowd for questions, if there is any. I hope I didn't took too much time of you.
Thank you very much, Monir. That was very helpful. I know the clients I work with, there are a lot of questions around these economic operators since it's such a new thing. So we have a list of some questions here, so I'll kind of go through and ask a couple of them. One of the big ones we're getting over and over again is, can some people take on multiple roles here? So for example, can your importer be the same person as your European authorized representative?
Yes, the answer is yes, but I don't recommend that at all. I have created also a blog post about I think top 11 or top 12 question about the authorized representative, and one of them is, should I choose my importer as my authorized representative? You can. It's not a problem. At the end, as I've said, there is only one entity that can have a mandate with a manufacturer, which is the authorized representative. So you can have your importer have a mandate with the manufacturer to say, I will be your authorized representative. But then your importer will also have to put a hat in terms of regulatory actions, regulatory compliance, because they will have to have a PRRC within the organization, unless they are really small, so they can go with the consultant. But they will have also a lot of liability in terms of the products, to be sure that the product is correct on the market. But you can do that. As I've said, you have, for example, a multinational, as I mentioned, that can be the manufacturer, the importer, the distributor, the authorized representative at the same time, because they have all those activities. You just have to have really clear segregation in terms of responsibility. What I'm advising, for example, for importers that want also to be authorized representative, if they are doing that for multiple clients, is to have two different entities under the same roof, maybe, just in terms of
What? I might have lost you, Monir. Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
now I can.
Sorry.
We got most of that answer.
Yeah, okay,
so.
no problem. So I hope it's fine.
Yeah,
You
we
have
got a
other
good
questions?
answer there. We appreciate that. Yeah, so another question related to importer. So a lot of people are asking, does your product have to come from outside the EU to your importer directly and let them then ship it or get it to the distributor? Or can you bypass the importer with the physical product and just let them have their label on and handle some of the paperwork?
So I cannot say they can bypass, because by law the importer has to check the products, so it has to receive the products and check them and approve them and put their label on it. I have some people that were asking, can I already put an importer label on it because it's imported by? If you do that, it's your own decision, but by law, the importer has to receive the products, has to put the label on it when, as I've said, it's cleared, everything is cleared. So it's better than to go, if I can say, to as I mentioned, to a lawyer to have really better understanding of some of those aspects. But clearly on the law, on the European Medical Device Regulation, it says that the importer is receiving the product, is checking the products, and is putting the label on it.
Got it. That's very helpful. Similarly, then, is there any limit on the number of importers you can have for a single product?
I mean, there is no limit mentioned, but for me, you can have one. I mean, it's better to have one importer in Europe, and then you have many distributors, maybe all over Europe. It's where you can get your products to one importer, principal importer, and then to use the many distributors, so that, as I said, one product is placed on the market by one importer. But there is no restriction to have many importers for that, because at the end, each importer will have to do the same check and will have to put their label on it. So we know exactly which importer did place these products on the market, so they can do that, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that is helpful there too. I know this is a question that's probably hard to answer, but do you have any insight into when the Udamed database might be available?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's saying now in 2022, we call it the Big Bang. So it means that at the same time, there will be the information that, before it was planned by this year, 2021, but we had the 1-year delay. And then it was still confirmed that normally by 2022, it will be available. But then it means that everybody will have to place their data on this database at the same time. So in-vitro diagnostic products, medical device products under both regulations. So everybody will have to place the products at the same time. And it's why we call it the Big Bang, because at the same time, everybody will go to this database, and we think maybe there will be some crashes at the beginning. So my good friend, so Richard Julian, has created some tools to help you to gather your data and then to place them on the Udemy database when it will be live. So Richard Julian also was a speaker on my podcast, and he's also offering some trainings about that. But he can explain to you better than me how, if I can say, to avoid all those issues. But the date mainly actually is mentioned that is 2022, May 2022. But they can still have some different modules published before, but we don't have those dates for now.
Great, that's very helpful. And I know, when you have your suppliers, some of these are subject to unannounced audits through the ISO standard, and some questions around, will your third-party logistics partners be subject to some of those audits?
So a supplier is not an economic operator. A supplier or subcontractor is really ahead of the manufacturer and is not considered as an economic operator. But what is marked specifically, it's really outside of this topic, but what is marked specifically on the regulation is the fact that as a manufacturer, you have to control your suppliers. So if you don't show that you are really controlling them well, if you don't show that you are auditing them or that you have really a good scrutiny of what they are doing for you, or that when you receive a product that you are really making a full check of the product that you receive or components, then the notified body can decide and say, I will go to audit your supplier. Most likely, if it is a critical supplier, anyway, they will go and audit them. But your supplier may be subject to many audits if they are supplying products to many different manufacturers. So I know that I had interviewed also some people about that, some suppliers about that, and they said to me that, yeah, they are planning nearly 1 month of audit every year just for that, because they receive a lot of notified bodies. And sometimes he said to me some funny story where the same notified bodies are coming for different customers for the same product, which was really a bit annoying. But it will be a big issue, and they will the suppliers will have to invest a lot, if I can say, on quality and regulatory affairs so that they can sustain all those audits.
Got it. Great. Yeah, so looks like we have a couple of people in the audience that are following like a direct to consumer process where they sell their device directly to consumers. Do you have any just general tips? I know there's probably a lot of nuances to that question of how to handle economic operators in that situation.
So as I've said, when you are supplying to, if you are a manufacturer and supplying directly to the consumer, all the, if I can say, all the responsibilities are upon you. So you have to have products that are compliant and everything. So there is no intermediary check that will be done between you and the consumer. If you are a distributor and receiving a product from a manufacturer and then sending that to a customer, to your end user, so then you have to do all those checks before to send those products to your customers. So you can also have a website like Amazon, like you're receiving the products from many manufacturers, and they deliver that to customers. So before receiving the products, they have to check that the products are okay, same as any distributor in the world or any importer. Amazon can be, for example, considered as a distributor or an importer when they are receiving some medical devices on their warehouses. So if I can say, you can change the name of the distributor to anybody that is supplying directly to an end user has really to follow all the requirements that I mentioned for distributor or manufacturer.
Got it. Yeah, that kind of goes with your slide where you're assuming more responsibilities. You just take that on your own. That makes a lot of sense to me. So I do have a question. Like your European Authorized Representative, would you consider that a critical supplier? Or I guess you said it's not a supplier, right?
No,
so
it's
you
not
don't have to. Yeah.
No, it's not. No, you don't have to. You have, I always recommend to have some kind of due diligence when you are getting your European Authorized Representative. I also, on my blog post, I put some kind of question that you have to ask or to get. But your Authorized Representative will be really one of your key partner in Europe. So it means that you have to have somebody that's really flexible, that can help you, that can work with you, but also that should be honest and provide you really the right information. And it's why working with an importer that is also your Authorized Representative can also have some conflict of interest, because the importer wants to sell as much as possible when the Authorized Representative should be here to maybe stop things because there is some compliance issue and there can be some conflicts here. So it's why you have really to choose a good European Authorized Representative that is really professional, that has also the people that know what they are doing, that can help you to register your products if it's their duty, because you can do that by yourself, etc., etc. But it's really a key partner. So it's not, if I can say, a supplier, but it's really a key partner that you have to have on your side.
Got it. That is very good to know. And I know we're coming up to the end of the presentation here. We have a few more questions in our list. We have these questions. Monir will get a copy of them. We have a copy, and we will follow up the best that we can. We really appreciate your time today, Monir. I thought it was a very helpful presentation. In fact, we got a few comments that said, thank you very much. I know a lot of people were very curious about the Brexit and the Switzerland situation, so that was helpful to learn a little bit more about. Any final thoughts before we end here, Monir?
Yeah, so as I've said, and I'm also working or talking a lot with some partners also in the US. So MDR is something that will be really be challenging for everybody. One of the challenges that you will have, and you can also listen to some of my podcast episodes, is about your notified bodies that you will have to select for placing your products on the market. And I know you will have a lot of challenges about that, but you may understand that there is some kind of situation that are happening now with the coronavirus, with all this new regulation that is coming, all those things. So be patient, but don't think that MDR will not come. MDR will come. It's just a matter of time, and you have really to get some help from some professionals to help you really to go to the right direction. Because at the end, you can make it. You just need to have the right partners, as I mentioned, for the authorized representative, the importer, or anybody that can help you on this phase.
Definitely. Great advice. Well, thanks again to you, Monir. Thank you to the audience. We hope to see you in some of the next presentations here coming up, and I hope you all have a good day.